Hello everyone. Today in this motivational series video, I'm going to talk about how to deal with people who put you down. Now some people like to have a dig at others whenever they can. They belittle them, they make fun of them, and they put them down. So, why exactly do they do this in the first place? What makes people put others down? So, let us explore some of the top reasons. Number one, to make themselves feel better. As backwards it may sound, these people feel better by knocking other people down or making them feel worse. They will typically have a low self-esteem and they don't know how to manage it, and their misguided way of boosting themselves up is to knock other people down to give them the much needed boost. Even though they themselves might be insecure, a common technique they will use is to pinpoint the insecurities of others. Their ego will get temporary relief from their own pain by inflicting hurt on someone else. Watching another's crushed face and seeing their reaction gives them the feeling they were searching for. It has nothing to do with you and everything to do with how they are feeling at that moment. Then the second reason as to why they put you down is because they are jealous. Jealousy is an ugly emotion that can rear its ugly head in truly hurtful ways. Given their low self-esteem, it aggrieves them to see someone doing well in any sense of the word. Whether you have a better house, a better partner, or a better career, or even as simple as having better hair, or maybe you're just nicer, they may be looking to take you down a few pegs. They're simply jealous of what you have and they want to make themselves feel better about it. Then the third reason as to why they put you down is to make others like them. When it comes to social situations, some people really want others around them to like them. They're constantly on a mission to prove themselves and stand out in a crowd. More often than not, they put others down to get a laugh from the rest of the group. So while some jokes can be funny, these generally aren't. Then the next reason is to get attention. So some people feel a little lost when other people aren't paying attention to them. So they make fun of others in order to get the attention they desire. They simply love the spotlight being on them. They crave attention, and in their eyes it doesn't matter whether the attention is negative or positive. So they make fun of others to have all their eyes on them. So to put it simply, it's not about you and it's 100% about them. Then the next reason as to why some people like to put others down is because they have a negative outlook on life. Some people seem to live with crippling negativity that affects the way they view everything they come in contact with. It's always a little bit of gloom and a little bit of doom. They are pessimistic, cynical, and utterly disparaging of anyone else's positivity. So when they see you happy and positive, they aim to bring you down a few notches to their level. So putting others down is simply second nature to them, and it's an automatic response to anything remotely cheerful. Then the sixth reason as to why some people like to put others down is they're unwilling to listen to another's point of view. When a person holds a particularly strong stance on a topic, they are unlikely to open to different points of view. Some people can handle such disagreements in a mature manner, but others will seek to tear down the views and opinions that go against their own. So now that you know someone might belittle you, make fun of you, or put you down, so what are you going to do about it? People take on this behavior for a variety of different reasons, and most of them have nothing to do with you in the first place. At the workplace, or when you're out with your friends, family, or when you're in a gym class, you're going to encounter this kind of people in a variety of scenarios in your life. So that is why it is important to know what to do when it happens to you. So let us now go through some of the effective strategies to handle put downs. Number one, realize that their comments reflect on them and not on you. First and foremost, as already discussed, you need to understand that what they say, it's a reflection of their insecurities, their own troubles, their own past, and generally their own warped mindset. They have expressed a view, perhaps one they don't even truly believe for one reason or another, but it's just their view, nothing more. So you need to remember your power, the power to consciously choose how you react emotionally. You don't have to let it affect you. It is difficult, it really is, but with time and practice, you can reach a point where spiteful words of others won't even affect you. Then the second strategy as to how to handle put downs is to consider the counter evidence. Another way you can practice how to deal with put down is to take what the other person has said and come up with the reason you can think of as to why they are untrue. You do this in your mind and not out loud to the other person. This reminds you to focus on the positivity and not their negativity. It says, I hear you, but I just don't agree with you. Any difficult emotions that have arisen due to the comments can be challenged and turned round in your head when you realize that you know the real truth. Eventually, with time, your mind will be able to counter negative comments in real time so that you can bat them away without ever having let them permeate your mind. So the next strategy to handle put downs is to put things firmly in perspective. Go over all the things you have to celebrate in your life. People who care about you, believe in you, things you have worked hard and achieved, pastimes you enjoy, and moments you treasure. The question you have to ask yourself is whether you're going to allow someone else's unkind words to overwhelm all those things that you have to be grateful for. As difficult it might be to put aside your emotions at the heat of the moment, try to reflect on how insignificant the put down really was. It is unlikely to have any effect in your life outside of what you allow. Sure, if a person repeatedly puts you down, it will surely affect the relationship you have with them, but you have control over this. You might choose not to have that person in your life anymore, for instance, but their words don't hold any power over you by themselves. Then the next strategy to handle a put down is to take a deep breath. When someone puts you down, no matter how they choose to do it, it stings. Give yourself some time to process what they have said. Avoid reacting in the moment. It can be all too tempting to retort with a quick calm down or use your own mean words to bring them down. But do you really want to sink down to their level? It might feel good in the moment, and you might feel the immediate release just the same way they do. Remember though, it's very short lived. You don't want to say or do something that you might regret in the long run. So instead of retaliating in the moment, try this. Turn away from the person. This way, they can't see the effect they had on you, and it takes some of the glory they had in the moment. Take in a deep breath. This will help you stay calm and collected. Count to 5. Before turning back around, count to 5 slowly to make sure you're not going to simply react in anger. Then the next strategy to handle a put down is to laugh it off. The person who said it will likely be confused by your response by showing how little it affected you, and you might persuade them to think twice about doing it again. If you are in a group of people, it also gives you a position of strength because self-deprecating humor can make other people warm up to you and not towards the perpetrator. Then the next strategy to handle a put down is to say thank you. You might be thinking, why on earth should you thank someone who has belittled you or made fun of you? But as often seen, just like laughter, a thank you can disarm the situation and put you in a good light, especially if there are other people present. Thank you for your opinion. Just leave it at that. The person who put you down won't be expecting such a response. They are hoping you will react. They are waiting for a rise. When you don't, there will be nothing left to say. Or you may say something like, thank you for your opinion, but I wholeheartedly disagree. Or you can say, thank you for such high praise, which can be said with a sarcastic and ironic tone. Or you can say words like, thank you, I look forward to prove you wrong, especially when someone has cast doubts on your ability or likely success. So you can simply chuckle and ignore. If you want to show that their words has completely zero effect on you, just laugh it off and walk away. It shows that you know that the comment isn't true, so you're not even going to dignify it with a response. Then the next strategy to handle a put down is to ignore it. If you're not a confrontational type of person, you may choose to ignore the comments altogether. The best way to do this is to continue with the conversation as if they never spoke in the first place. Don't react to anything. This takes away the power they were hoping to gain with their comment. It also makes them less likely to keep putting you down in future. If they are not getting what they want out of it, they are most likely to stop. Of course, this isn't always the case. Sometimes they will start digging deeper to see what your limits are or how much you're willing to tolerate. In this instance, then, you might have to think about calling them out on it. So, the next strategy to handle put down is to call them out on it. So, if the person is someone who puts you down at every opportunity they get, it might be time to call them out on it. Next time they take a dig, stop them on their tracks. Interrupt them and tell them you're not going to listen to them anymore. But make sure you're calm and in control when you approach them. You don't want to do this in anger. It helps to tell them that you don't appreciate the way they speak to you, and ask them nicely if they could try and work on it for next time. If you remain calm while doing this, they will feel confronted, but most likely they won't retaliate, especially if others are watching at that moment. So it allows to get your point across. If they continue to still do it after this, you can follow it up with, I have asked you to stop with your negative remarks. Do you think you can try again? So say this as many times you need to until it sinks in for them. Okay, then towards the last, after all the above strategies doesn't work, then the next strategy is to exit the situation. So if you don't think that being honest is the right approach, or the person is not someone close to you, You could always choose to walk away from them. You don't have to be rude about it. You can just say, well, I have to go and do so and so work or do some X kind of thing. Or you can say, on that note, I think it's best I go now. If you are with a group of people and you don't want to leave entirely, you can just disappear for a few minutes to let the conversation to move on to something else. Maybe use the time to go to the restroom or some fresh air or order some food or drink or make a quick phone call. Then come back and rejoin the group once you have the chance to process the put down and get your emotions in check. Then the next strategy is to say goodbye to repeated offenders. So if a person often puts you down or makes fun of you, you might wish to get rid of that person from your life. Not all your friends are your real friends. Not all family members deserve your time and attention. Not all co-workers require friendship out of work, and not all partners are meant to be. Even if you are unable to say goodbye completely, you can look to minimize your interaction with that person. You can keep things to basic pleasantries and refuse to engage in anything more than is required. So the last strategy to handle the put down if all the other strategies has not worked is to ask for support. Finally, you should tell someone and ask for support if the person is repeatedly putting you down or is really mean. If the person who is putting you down is someone in authority figure, say someone equally authoritative such as a parent, a teacher or a supervisor. So using your support system can help in many ways. They can stand up for you and also report whatever is happening. So with this we come to the end of this video. Do let me in the comment section if this video helped you in some way. You can also mention of any negative experience in your life and how you handled that at that time, or you can give suggestions of your own on how to handle negative people like this. So this will help others who's watching these videos or others who have faced a similar situation like yours. So we'll be coming with another motivational video like this. Do not forget to like and subscribe. To let me know of any other self-help topics you're looking forward to. I'll try to work on them and present you with tips and techniques to how to overcome those problems and challenges. So till next time, bye bye.